Lady Alice and Jimmy.
What did we literally just talk about?
We. Welcome to Something Feral, the podcast where three friends watch, eat, and talk trash. We're your hosts. I'm Kate.
I'm Brianna.
I'm satisfied, Blaze, today. We had McDonald's.
The lady is satisfied.
Lady Anna likes that. Uh-oh. Stuck again.
Okay, literally,
Oh,
we're
dear.
how many minutes in the episode? Not even
one.
I'll stop. It's not on the list of our topics today.
That's right. We're being really, really good today.
Yeah.
We've been on one lately.
Lists are the move, too. I think Mercury's in Virgo.
Oh. But then we should be on our shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The list was a great idea.
Oh, it's now in Virgo. Okay.
I think so. I have to double check, but I thought I saw that earlier.
It's usually out to get us, so I'm happy that it's on our side today.
Hopefully, fingers
Well,
crossed.
let's see how this episode
Yeah,
pans
I
out.
don't want to get any promises.
And it's thunderstorming, which I love. We all love.
Yes.
So if the lighting changes for the worse,
We apologize.
but we're not sorry enough to close the blinds either.
No, we want to look at the lighting. It's
It's
beautiful.
our studio and we can do what we want.
That's right. Women in STEAM. Choo choo.
Choo choo.
Choo choo, bitch.
Top of the order, you have an update for us.
I do. So I talk about the podcast a lot with my therapist, mostly because it's just something that has brought a lot of happiness to my life.
Yay.
Yeah, and just
Same.
Does she listen?
she does not listen.
Okay.
Only because she's like, it kind of crosses a line a little bit.
Yeah.
But she's like, if we were friends, I would absolutely listen. And she loves it. We talk about it all the time. And a lot of the times I tell her the topics. And so obviously last week we talked about the big lightning.
Yeah.
The sexy tins. And so I was kind of telling her the story a little bit. And she was like, oh, that's so funny. I was just up in Milwaukee this weekend for a friend's wedding. And I was like, huh. She's like, yeah, the hotel was super boutique-y. And all of a sudden we just sort of figured it out. She was at a wedding last weekend at the same hotel. And she had the sex tins on the minibar. So they still have
ones?
them. Clean ones, yeah.
It was
Wow.
sealed?
It was sealed, yep.
I don't know. I still wouldn't trust it.
No. Did you ask your therapist if she used the tin?
I did not ask her if she used the tin, but
Reasonable.
it was very funny
Appropriate.
because, I mean, what are the fucking chances of that?
And the timing, too. That's crazy.
Yeah, so she was just there, same hotel. They're still using the sex tins. Hopefully they've learned their lesson.
I would think you don't.
You don't do that twice.
That is a horror story at work when you're training people, when you're and you know what?
It's in their
Some
onboarding
people-
document.
Yeah, they're some people will just put their stuff back, so you have to check them. And I know that because I experienced that horror.
Whoever made that mistake and got in trouble, I know thinks about that often, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. I hope the person who left it feels some shame and guilt, too.
Yeah.
Oh, I guarantee they have not thought about it.
Yeah, no, the type of person who does some shit like that, who knows what else they're capable of. That's just one on a long line of atrocities they commit on the regular.
That's right.
Sick freaks.
Well, that's fun. You and your therapist have even
Yeah.
more in common.
I know. It was really fun. So, yeah, that was my sexton update. Ooh, I hope they can pick that up on
The thunder and
I
lightning.
wonder. Yeah, the thunder is crazy.
love
We're just
it.
ooh,
Yeah.
ooh,
Oh,
ah.
It's so good.
What's next on our list?
Oh, I have an update. So the letter that I was forced to read last week, there was a mention of tracks in the yard. My tracks were in your yard. You saw tracks, those are mine. And I want to actually clarify. I thought they were tire tracks. You thought they were
We both did.
footprints.
Yeah.
You guys thought they were footprints.
Like in the snow or something.
Yep.
And I am proudly vindicated because the recipient of the letter, Edward, confirmed that they were tire tracks and she drove on his lawn.
Sorry, I didn't think people did such things, but
Agreed.
No, but I knew based on the region and the description.
And what we know about Edward and Bella.
Yeah, about Edward and Bella. And I really did not think those would be footprints. I don't think it made sense geographically or logistically. And I am proud to say I was correct. Speaking of Virgo season, wow.
you love being
Yeah.
right. It's your favorite.
It's
I
leaning
do love
in.
it. It's not Virgo season yet, but it will be.
Virgo moon, apparently. Or
No,
No.
Mercury. Virgo and Mercury.
I don't know.
I think.
We're not astrology girlies.
I'm open to becoming one.
Me too. Except I always forget the details.
I do too. And there are certain signs that because they're not in my life and I don't know a lot of people of those signs, I know nothing about.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
the very basics.
I couldn't tell you anything about Leos.
Oh.
You would know if you met one.
Yeah, there are good Leos, but there are a lot of insufferable Leos. It's not for you as
It's a tough
sign.
trait.
Anyway, so the tire tracks update, that's just to say that I was correct.
We're really proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm proud of me too.
Now tell us about your trip.
Yeah. So I went to Martha's Vineyard and I had the best time. It was just like a girls' weekend, and it was a long weekend, and
I saw some pics. It looked fun.
oh my gosh, it was awesome.
Had you ever been before?
No, and I lived in Boston for a little bit, and I just like never made it out there, and it was so charming and so beautiful, and like we stayed around the water. I had a lobster roll that changed my life.
A real New England lobster roll is special. Did you have it cold or hot?
I like them hot. I like
Yeah,
them
me too.
buttery, and like the bread had some like garlic on it on this one. Like
Yep.
the first one I had when we got there was good. The second one I had a few days later was out of this world. It
You
was
gotta
so
have seafood
good.
on the East Coast.
The
Yeah.
seafood was great. I ate a lot of seafood, and we stayed right on the water. It was like decently walkable where we were, and we did a little like boat tour, and we did the Jaws 50th anniversary like tour.
Really?
Yeah. So
Was that expected or was that like a pleasant surprise?
we planned that. My friend Serena planned like she really like planned most of the trip.
Oh, nice.
It was so great. It was so much fun. I can't wait to go back. Got a really cute sweater.
Does it have a fish on it?
Fisherman
It has a whale.
Nice.
Yeah, it does have a whale.
Is it Vineyard Vines?
No,
Oh.
there is a Vineyard Vines there, of course.
Ooh.
You know that's not really my like style.
That's why I asked.
I just was like swept away
It's in hot pink.
by the culture. Oh, no, thank you. I mean,
Swept
to each
away
their
by
own.
the culture.
Carried out to sea. No, it was great. The food was amazing. The scenery was cool. It's a really beautiful place, and it was just nice to get away.
Yeah.
It was so nice to get away and just like walk around. I went to the No Kings protest there.
Protesting even on vacation.
Even on
Look at
vacation.
you.
I feel so like other places though, it was such nice weather. And when we arrived, it was cold, windy, pouring rain.
Like it is right now.
Yeah, but it was
It's
cold.
hot.
Yeah.
And like more wind. Yeah. So like when we arrived, it was like the height of the protest when we were like truly arriving. And then we, put our stuff down and like went out. So it was still raining, caught like the very, very, very tail end. So it was just like a few people left, right? I wasn't there at like the height of it, which like it doesn't matter, right? Like it's important to show up no matter how many people are there. But like those people were like tough. And I was like, you know what? There's something like very encouraging about like being with the people who are like out there in the pouring rain. There's only like at this point like 5 people at the very end who just like stuck it out to like get the message across. And I was like, you know what? Like cool. So yeah, it was amazing. Can't wait to go back. Eager to go back.
Good. It's always fun when you discover like a new place
Yeah,
with
exactly.
a new vibe. And
Highly recommend. We have to go. Like we should go when it's hotter too. I think peak season starts right around like next week or something, or like 1st of July.
so
Like
you were close enough.
right, but like I can imagine like how awesome it would be like during the hot heat of summer. How amazing it would be to like get in the water and go to the beach, like
Yeah.
swim and all those things.
Yeah, the ocean
too.
hasn't warmed up yet.
No, it was cold. It was
August.
cold by the water.
I feel like the ocean is not warm until August.
yeah, that's like
If it gets warm.
if it does, yeah, like all the large bodies of water take a while to heat.
God, I hate August. It's so goddamn hot.
It is nasty. Like the key to surviving August is to be on a large body of water.
Or just like be in Michigan.
That's what I mean. Be by a large body of
Right, yeah.
water.
The state
or
of
smaller
Michigan.
body. Yeah, exactly. Well, the ocean counts.
Yeah.
A large,
Agreed.
refreshing body of water.
That's
Not like a
right.
pond. Or like a pool that's too warm and you're just like,
No.
will this ever end? Anyway, go to Martha's Vineyard. It's gorgeous and awesome.
All right, so we are going to jump into a special double segment today. We talked about it a little bit last week, but Blaze had a stalker neighbor a few years ago.
In the village.
In the village.
Yes.
And we talked a little bit about his
It's just like creepy behavior.
creepy behavior. Yeah.
For anyone that missed the last episode, he was just creepy as fuck.
Yep.
He would look in the windows. He would drive the lawnmower up and down the sidewalk
Yeah.
in front of my home.
but not like cut the grass,
Nope.
to be clear.
It was on a concrete sidewalk.
We were cutting our own grass. He didn't do
Yeah.
anything useful, like actually cut the grass.
No, just up and down the sidewalk.
Yep.
It was very spooky. And I don't think I mentioned this, but I actually called the police because he parked his car in front of our home and
ew.
was
That's
like
right.
pretending to clean out the car and like staring into the windows.
For like a really long time, too.
yeah, for like hours.
Also, it's worth noting his driveway was empty. He lives alone, and
There's street parking.
there was a lot of street parking. And
How far away was your house from his?
There was one house in between ours.
yeah,
So there'd be no reason for him to be like,
no.
In front of my house, never.
He lived alone. He had a big driveway and
It was clear.
an empty ass garage because he kept it open. There was literally nothing in the garage.
Nothing. And he always parked in the street. But for whatever reason, this day he moved his car. I saw him move it in front of my house. And then he was like digging in the trunk and just doing this, like looking and digging in the trunk. And that's why I called the police. I'm like, is he gonna come up to the door? Like, I had to go somewhere. I was like, I can't leave now. He's out there, like, because my car's in the driveway. It was at the end of my driveway.
Well, it's also a very like, it's a power move.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? I thought he was going to do something.
A driveway?
Yeah, because he was always creepy, and he did a lot of creepy stuff. I mean, like, you just know when someone's creepy. Like, you just know as a woman. And, like, that's what made me call this, because I'm like, he is now, like, encroaching on my property. He's on my grass at this point.
It was the other behavior as well. Like, it's a yes and situation.
I thought he was going to do something, and I was like, you know what? Gotta call. So, anyway, I called the police, and
they affirm everything you thought.
Right?
Yeah, they're like, this guy's a fucking freak. Please stay away. Beware. But somebody, and I wish I remember who, found this man on Nextdoor, the app for, like, neighborhoods. And he has a name that is the same as my husband. So we're going to call him Creep for this because I will not have that name shamed on this podcast. And I have just like thousands of not thousands.
Oh my God, you sent a lot. Like 44 or something.
Screenshots of like comments this man has left on Nextdoor. And most of it is like telling neighbors to call like Crime Watch or like report something, and like him accusing the Crime Watch like website of being inaccurate, and like
they probably had his info on it.
They did.
Oh yeah,
he's on there because he's scared. He wants to know who's reporting him because he's had many reports. The detective told me.
100%. No wonder he's active on this.
I think that's why he's obsessed.
Absolutely.
And I looked mine up. Mine was on there like creepy neighbor. Blah, blah, blah. I don't remember. I'd love to find it. I would. Yeah, whatever. But
good.
Yeah. So I thought it would be fun for us to read some of these insane comments that he left on this public website.
I also want to be clear, I didn't get a chance to look through these. I haven't heard these since like back in the day.
2016 when I screenshotted these.
Yeah, when we like looked at them for the first time. So
surprise.
I don't know if excited is the right word, but
I think you're just happy not to have to read a letter.
I'm all ears.
Nothing is worse than those horrible letters. Except for maybe this.
Except living next to this guy.
Yeah. So I favorited a couple of these comments I thought I'd read aloud, and they all have topics. So this topic he calls beggars in the street. Oh. So this is the theme of this comment here. So the comment before was just saying, you know, like, I saw someone begging on the street, blah, blah. Creep goes, I really don't give a damn, spelled wrong, if they are prosperous or not. Whatever their true situation happens to be is completely irrelevant. What is relevant is that they are making our area look trashy and therefore creating an indirect threat to all of our property values. Our local cops aren't doing a damn thing about it either.
They're too busy with you.
Yeah.
They're too busy with real problems.
Yeah. You. Like I said before, start writing the expensive impeding traffic tickets to donors, and lots of them. Many times I will be stopped at a red light at mile and can feel my blood pressure elevate every time I see some fool stop to hand me money.
There is a man, because I live in that neighborhood, that is always at the corner. And I want you guys to know, the man that he is probably talking about is literally an elderly man. That's the type of person that this man is like saying he's nervous about.
Not even saying he's nervous about it.
Veteran.
Like, probably an elderly veteran. And he's in a walker. An old man in a walker. And he's like spewing this shit while looking at his neighbor's fucking windows.
Yep.
He has so many reports. It enrages me. And he's talking about his blood pressure elevate.
Ew.
Anyway, he says, why isn't someone in the Nextdoor village city commission screaming and yelling at the top of their lungs at the police chief? I would be.
We know you do.
We know
yelling
you do.
at the police chief for all of the vagrants in the village.
Me.
For the extreme crime. Like, you're the crime.
There's a follow-up post. Someone, commented that he's being a little nuts with this response. And he goes, why isn't the city being more aggressive to help combat this problem? Why are we paying high property taxes for? Usually the village next door does an excellent job with so many different things that the local government does.
So move there. Get out of here.
He's always talking about the next door village and like how great it is.
Then move there. Please. Go.
Yeah. Leave.
Better yet. Further away, different state.
Also, we pay
one
high
that
taxes
aligns with your politics better.
For a lot of other things, sir.
Yeah, he's mad that all his tax dollars don't go towards fighting crime, in quotes, because fucking standing on a corner is not crime. And also, he hates the cops. So what's your aim here?
He hates them, but calls them all the time.
Yeah, he hates them because they don't, do exactly what he tells them to.
Right.
And because they come to his house, because he's a creep.
Yeah. There's more to this one. So he says, but I have got to say they totally dropped the ball on this one. As I said before, What they can do but are choosing not to do is to line up the cops where the scam artist beggars are and starting writing expensive impeding tickets, traffic tickets, to every last vehicle that gives them so much as $1.
So he wants to punish the people who are helping.
Correct.
Yes.
Of course.
That will get the message across.
What a fucking idiot. God, you really never know who your neighbor is going to be. And we have great neighbors, and I truly am so grateful. And I do not take that for granted, having lived around some weirdos.
Yeah.
I mean, Billy's neighbor, this guy, there's some bad
It can
people.
be bad. Yeah.
Oh, there's another follow-up to this one. He goes, some time ago, I called the Nextdoor village police to complain about it. The dispatcher told me there's nothing they can do. I replied that it looks absolutely ridiculous and is a threat to my property value. She replied that the beggars are protected under their First Amendment rights, and as long as they aren't bothering anyone, they can't do anything about it. I replied that when a vehicle slows down to give them money, they are impeding traffic.
It's at a light.
Yeah.
It's at a red light. You're
always
supposed to slow down at a red
full.
light, you idiot.
That's an always backed up light, too. Every day.
Always.
Also, based on where this person is standing, they might not even be in his town.
No.
Yeah. The one unhoused person at one corner is impacting
His in a different town.
Correct.
Oh, there's more. She replied that it would be a very expensive ticket that would have to be issued to the motorist. If I was in the Nextdoor Village City Commission, I would send out every single last available police car in that parking lot next to City Hall 24/7 to write tickets to the motorists until every single last beggar
So
is
he
gone.
wants more traffic at this insanely busy intersection to punish the people who are at a red light trying to help an unhoused person. That is his solution here.
Yes. 24/7, he would be on that case.
Also, like, what's with the beggar term? Are we
Ew.
in the Hunchback of Notre Dame?
Yeah, for fucking
a very
real.
offensive movie we've talked about.
Speaking of offensive things.
Episode 4. Chapter whatever.
Throwback.
Problematic men.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said, I would scream and yell if I saw just one police vehicle parked in that lot downtown. If I ran for public office, I would probably be assassinated. By me.
What?
Okay, wait. Can we?
What?
For doing nothing, probably, yes.
Can we, instead of calling him Creep, can we name him after the bad guy in Frollo? Can we call him
Frollo?
Frollo. Yeah,
Oh
Frollo
my
is
God.
the perfect name
His
for
name
this
is
freak.
Frollo, yes. Because he's so sinister.
He's such
but
a
like,
Frollo.
Sinister and self-righteous.
Yes.
And wrong.
But full of sin.
and weirdly obsessed with a woman?
Yeah, weirdly obsessed with his neighbor.
Oh, hell yeah. Great call,
Excellent call.
Thank you. Because it's like, just replace beggars with gypsies in Frollo's mind, and you've got
No,
the
literally,
same narrative.
It's just a quote from The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Like,
Seriously. Wow. What a
that's
great
literally
name.
all of his lines.
Yeah.
Instead of like, ex community police department, it's just like the church.
King's Guard.
Yeah, the King's Guard.
Okay, on to our next topic for Frollo. This topic is dogs. Frollo hates dogs.
Oh no, you had something in common.
Don't ever say that again. How dare you?
No, wait.
No, he hates all dogs. I hate shitty dogs.
Yeah, same.
I had some feelings about this particular one that I want to share.
This is a
He's talking about your dogs.
the unleashed rats.
I saw this foul-looking Chihuahua thing.
I would like to also preface that this insane comment was left on a post of a lost cat. Okay.
Of course.
And he goes on a rant about about dogs. I can't believe that I even have to say this, but people, please keep your dogs contained leashed and your cats indoors or contained on your own property.
Okay, he's kind of right there. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Like, that is come on.
It takes a turn.
No, of course. Yeah.
The amount of loose animals in this neighborhood is ridiculous. This is a walkable neighborhood and not a zoo. I am getting tired of having to clean up after them on my lawn. We now have a lot of renovations occurring, and I know for a fact that there will be even more teardowns / new construction homes being built here in the near future. We all have a chance to make this northeast corner of the village more upscale, so let's do it. I hope this lady finds her cat. But when people don't mow their grass on time, pick up the litter in their yard or waste from their lawn in a timely fashion, set off fireworks in the middle of the night, or let their pets run free down the street, we all look like a bunch of hillbillies or hippies.
Also, nobody's talking about fireworks in the middle. What is he talking? That
I really
has never happened.
I want to take a second and really, really
unpack that.
really, really make note of the fact that
There's more.
this is not that neighborhood.
No.
Like, there might be like a loose dog that got out every once in a while.
It's like someone's pet. Yeah, there are not animals roaming
There's
around.
not like a gaggle of stray animals running
No.
around.
Hold on, let me finish it.
The fireworks
there's
are
more.
on 4th of
There's more.
July.
Hold on, let me
Wait.
finish it. I would encourage my fellow neighbors to go on a long walk through the neighborhoods on the north side of Mile to see how a great neighborhood is supposed to look and
He's
feel.
so horny for this neighboring community. Just move.
Just move.
And also, like, the fact that, like, he's like, if you keep tearing down your shitty houses, we have a chance to make our neighborhood nice. Like,
Yeah, and get rid of the
fuck your
beggars.
cat. Like, you know, who reading that is going to be like, wow, yeah, let's tear down all our homes, get rid of all the strays that don't exist,
Right.
stop shooting off fireworks like the hillbillies that we are. Like, what?
This is on a lost cat post.
Literally.
Someone who lost their cat.
You know what? I would have my dog shit in his yard. If I had to pick a yard for them to shit in, I would
You can still do that. Oh, you said he moved.
He moved.
He moved.
Damn.
But I'm telling you, like, you know why that guy probably had dog shit in his yard? Because people did it on purpose. Because he was probably
would.
He
so
deserved
awful.
it.
Because he deserved it.
Yeah.
Oh, there's more to this thread.
Someone's like, so you haven't seen my cat.
Right.
Well, I'm reading half of this comment from another neighbor. They go, I mean, I understand that we all want our neighborhood to be upscale, but what does a cat escaping have to do with anything that person was talking about? Hashtag start your own town thread, Frollo.
Okay, also, the upscale thing is killing me. Like, we all want to live in an upscale neighborhood. Like, we have a chance to make our neighborhood upscale.
What
Like,
are we talking
calm
about?
down. Like, yeah.
What are we talking about?
This is a very, very normal, nice neighborhood.
Correct.
But it's not upscale yet.
Not upscale enough
No.
for Frollo.
No.
That's right up Frollo's alley.
Of course. It's like, we got to get rid of the riffraff.
Right.
Oh, there's more to
He just
this.
called them Catholics, and oh wait, no, he was Catholic, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gypsies.
The
He
Protestants.
did like the
Yeah, the gypsies.
Yep. So Frollo didn't like that neighbor response. So he said, I was just trying to make a point while we were on the subject.
We were not on the subject.
We were not on the subject.
No.
It is very cruel and irresponsible for a cat to be outdoors where it could be run over by a car, attacked by a larger dog, or opossum. But
First of all, possums don't attack living creatures.
The thought of a possum attacking a cat is so funny, just because it doesn't happen.
they play dead. They're so scared.
No, they move
Anyways.
so
They also
slowly.
don't eat. They are scavengers.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let me finish it. But I have not heard anyone bring up this critical point yet. Please keep dogs leashed or contained and cats indoors. Everyone will be safer for it, and our neighborhoods will look better. The village is a premium urban suburb and not a little hick town, farm, out in the country, or petting zoo.
What?
Prospective buyers and builders, as well as current homeowners, will be discouraged and disappointed if they witness someone's uncontrolled dog, in parentheses, ass dogs, chasing some innocent person down the street or disallowing a pedestrian to safely proceed forward on their path. This is not much to ask at all. If we want the property values here to remain strong and continue to appreciate, we all need to do our small part.
There's no animals chasing people on the street.
That has never happened.
Never
He
happened in
provides
the village.
evidence in the next comment.
Of animals chasing him?
Yes.
I'd stick my dog on
Good,
him in a heartbeat.
absolutely. Good boy, good girl.
Good
yeah.
dogs. Good dogs.
Yeah.
And I will say, it's not that I was home all the time. One single time did I find a stray dog, and the neighbor across the street caught it. She put it in her yard. The owners were frantic. They came running for it. They
Right.
found it.
It was an accident.
Crisis averted. It was a large dog, but very friendly. Did not attack anyone.
Yeah, because like everyone in
Chase
this,
anyone down
everyone
the
in this
street.
neighborhood has like retrievers and doodles.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
It was a large, doodle.
Yeah, of course. Like, it wasn't some feral, dog fighting dog that escaped.
Well, one of the neighbors says, the subject line is that a beloved family pet was lost and is now found. Let's just be happy. The great thing about this community was amazing response by all the people who showed compassion, offered to help. Frollo had to respond. He did not like that.
Yeah.
He had to keep going.
He hated hearing that the cat was found.
Hated it.
Thanks to all the neighbors. That was
Thanks
too
to
far.
the community.
Yeah, that was a step too
So
far.
let me get this straight.
He's pissed.
The community stepped up and got involved.
Found the cat.
Found the pet, which is what Nextdoor is for.
No one got hurt.
No one got hurt. The cat's uninjured. Everybody's happy.
This is a happy ending.
And this guy's like, but the property values.
Yeah, a happy ending would be a hunchback kicking his ass. This is the Hunchback of Notre Dame too.
Oh, he had
The
to
new
reply.
millennia.
Here he goes again. I don't believe that there was any invisible fence. In all of the circumstances I have observed, the dogs traveling onto their next-door neighbor's
We're not
property,
even talking about that anymore.
and in many cases, also traveling across the street. Traveling is crazy.
Crossing the street.
Yeah, traveling.
Like
this man is this traveling band of gypsies. Like
stray dogs all around the streets.
that's someone pushing a stroller and walking their dog, sir.
I'm not going to say any of those street names, but he says, on these streets, there have recently been several teardowns, and there are currently several more plans for new homes to be built here in the future. My neighborhood is finally starting to show some real signs of improvement with all the renovations and new home building taking place.
Also, he does not live in a like massive new build. I want to be clear. The house he was living in was
It's a
much like
ranch.
ours. It was like a little
Tiny.
like 1950s ranch, like great condition, like whatever. But like he's very horny for these giant new builds, and like he
and
did not live
also-
in one.
That's like not the. Okay, so this is gonna
It's not the
sound-
point. But
Hold
like,
on, let me finish
No,
it.
that's not what I was gonna say. Finish it, and
Let
then
me
I want to
finish
make
it.
a point about the
yeah,
village.
like a new build doesn't make like a neighborhood upscale.
It's also like the neighborhood doesn't like new builds.
Right, exactly.
They like the fact that it's like a sleepy small community, and like
Right.
the homes are original, like the big trees, like that sort of
tastefully updated.
correct.
Okay, hold on. Let me finish. Even if you totally remove me from the equation, I am predicting this nonsense with the dogs won't be tolerated much longer, especially as more new families move in. About a month ago, the police dealt with the worst offender in the neighborhood, and
You.
so far, so good.
Maybe that was my neighbor.
He was fired up about the streets that like touched ours. I don't think he made it as far as your neighborhood.
We were not that far.
Yeah, he never mentions it.
I know,
just
but
like the neighboring streets.
He just like lurks in his like 3-street
Oh, you
radius.
mean
You know what I
like-
mean?
Yeah, he
yeah,
only
yeah.
ever talks about those 3 streets. Oh, and
He
then
doesn't veer very far.
another neighbor had to be, again, this is a great ending, Frollo. Like, everything's good. He goes again. This is where he tells the story of what happened to him with the dogs.
I'm just
He
actually
goes-
excited.
Well, I apologize, but unfortunately, the time for kindness has long passed. Over by me on blank street, between the other streets, loose dogs are a real problem over here. I just barely escaped a violent dog attack on my street a few summers ago by playing dead. And the and the owner watched the whole thing while nonchalantly just standing on her front lawn.
I guarantee that dog was like running up to him, being like, "Hey!" Like,
Or just like not even running. Just like
just,
kind of
like,
like hobbled
traveling.
up to him. Traveling, yeah.
I would give all my money I've
Me
ever
too.
made to see this man playing dead.
I would empty
From a
my
doodle
retirement account to
coming
watch
up
this
to-
to watch this unfold.
to watch Frollo just get fucking harassed.
Also, one of the streets that he's talking so much about where the like all these problems are happening, by the way, is the street that is technically in the other town that
Yeah.
he's so horny for.
The street where he had to play dead was the street we just lived on a couple of years ago.
Oh, I love that's poetry. Hell yeah.
Very
the
dangerous. street.
slums of
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, there's more. Several weeks ago, I ended up hiding up in someone's shrubbery on our street while a large, unruly dog ran freely off their property while the owners just stood there irresponsibly again. There are some sections and blocks of the neighborhood I will not walk on due to irresponsible pet owners with uncontrolled dogs.
Again, if that man was in my neighborhood, I would also like.
unleash the dog.
And I
I'd
found out,
stick my dogs
and I
on
found
him,
out he
yeah.
was afraid of dogs. That'd be the only thing I would do is stand in my yard with
Oh.
my dogs.
We have such scary dog privilege with our dog. Like he's friendly, but like he looks like a scary boy.
Yeah.
Nothing would make me happier.
Oh, there's
than,
more.
Like A, walking him by this guy's house and B, like letting him a little loose in his yard.
Yeah.
This is a real problem over here. And
Again,
not
we
only-
know, Frollo.
and not only puts people's safety at risk, but also makes the neighborhood look bad. I am afraid that ticketing appears to be the only solution to the problem at this point. More tickets.
This
Oh my
man,
God.
The police
is
are busy.
horny for tickets.
Yeah, they're busy issuing like actual tickets and solving like actual issues.
Well, let's say it was you posting.
yeah,
these
you know it
comments.
was real because I don't post
Correct.
that type of shit on Facebook.
But I truly don't believe
no, I don't believe it.
how like the severity that this man is
I
describing.
lived
it.
there for like 5 years on all
Right.
those different streets. I saw one dog that ran away.
I will have you know, I ran and walked every single day down not just those streets, but many other surrounding
The ones
streets.
where you won't go to.
Truly,
So dangerous.
Not ones, yeah, including the dangerous parts
Yeah.
of the town. And I want to
with
be
all
very
the
clear.
beggars and loose dogs.
With the beggars and, yeah, the strays. And let me tell you, not once ever did a dog make me feel unsafe? And if that were true, like, I'm not the world's biggest dog person. Like, if your dog sucks, I will say it. And that was never, ever, ever an issue. And I lived in that community for most of my life.
He really hates solicitors. I'm just looking.
Could you imagine?
There's
oh my
a
God.
lot of, like, he'll ask solicitors for their papers, which he says.
Their papers?
Yeah.
What?
Apparently you need, like...
You do need permits, yeah.
But then he's telling people, he's like, goodness gracious, people, next time this sort of thing happens, call the police immediately. Here's the number.
No.
They have excellent response time.
It is insane to call the police because someone knocks on your door, like, to sell you something or to, like, pass out a flyer.
You don't have
That
to
is
answer.
crazy. Yeah, you don't have to answer. And also, it's not a crime for someone to knock on your door.
Or you know what, dude? Put up a no soliciting sign.
That's easy.
He wants the trouble. He wants
he
it.
likes
He
it.
loves it. Like, these are the type of people, like, when I used to knock doors, and I mean, I still knock for campaigns, but when I was doing it all day, every day, it was like my job. Like, you'd run into some freaks, and I know what it's like to talk to someone like this. It is so brutal, and I feel bad for the cops, like, which is not something I thought would be, like, on my bingo card of saying today. But, like, I feel bad for those cops who, like, they just, like, look at their stuff, and they're just like,
Oh, this motherfucker again.
Like,
You guys ever watch Parks and
have to
Rec?
go.
Like, every time they have a community meeting, it's just the
Oh, yeah.
fucking psychos that show up. That's this man.
And
That's
he's
real.
acting like the village's Pawnee.
Yes. And he's the dumbest citizen.
Oh, and you know he goes to council meetings. You know.
He talks about it. He's like, there's a very important race. I'll never go. But he doesn't live in our town anymore, so that's good.
Thank God.
I just know this man was the worst to talk to on anything like that. I can't even. Ugh.
I mean, if you're talking about the response time of the police,
Oh, he knows they're always at his house.
Crazy.
You're like, can confirm. I called them on Frollo the other day, and they were
Right.
at my house instantly.
I wish I would have seen these in real time. I would have said something. I was crazy back then.
No, I would have too. Because, like, you know, you had a contact at the department,
Right.
He told me to call him.
Yeah.
Any problems arise, he was such a pussy that he never did anything again. 'Cause,
Yeah.
You know, he loves the cops and the response time. He doesn't want to be on their radar, even
Right,
though he
yeah,
is
God.
big time.
Even though he is working overtime to put himself on their radar.
Yeah. The ones about the solicitors are quite boring. He's like shaming all his neighbors for like not, you know, calling the police
Not
about the
feeling as
solicitor.
For
aggressively
opening
as
the door
him.
and just being like, no thanks. Like, I don't need, like, my house sprayed for spiders. Have a good day. Like, he could never do that.
No.
He says, it's just not that simple. It's no longer the 1950s. Please also immediately report any door-to-door solicitors who lack a genuine solicitor's identification card from the municipality and or have a lame excuse for knocking at your door because they're supposedly peddling books or magazines. I've experienced some real bad news characters showing up at my door. Act like a total ditz so they don't know that you're onto them. I've gotten the police to
What?
catch up to
Onto
them
them?
on several occasions to have them thrown out of the neighborhood. And please remember that political and religious groups are exempt.
Okay, well, this is the guy that yells at a Girl Scout for selling cookies.
100%. You know, when
Which he talks about, he says they're very unhealthy
oh,
on here.
of
yeah.
course, this man is making enemies of all.
He can't help it.
He's like the kind of person, you know, when you see on the news, like, this little girl was selling lemonade, but then she, like, had to stop because the neighbor called and demanded a permit. And it's like,
Yep.
you're like, who in the fuck would do that? This guy.
This guy.
Yeah.
Someone's literally like, oh, Girl Scout cookie time, where can I get them? Frollo goes, they usually set up at the entryway of Kroger and hound the customers entering and exiting.
These, the little girls.
The little girls.
The Girl Scout cookies have a lot of unhealthy ingredients, by the way.
Oh, the cookies? The
They do.
cookies have unhealthy ingredients in them?
No shit.
Oh my God, get bent. He's the worst.
Fucking shit, Frollo. We have quite a few more topics. One is the chickens, and then he gets real racist, so we might have to do a part 2.
I think we should do a part 2.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We need to give ample time for these ones.
We need more time to shame this man.
Yes.
I'd like to
yes.
spread it out so we can keep shaming him.
Yeah, so those topics will be at another time.
I look forward to it.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
So fuck this guy. He moved to a different town. It's still kind of close to here, but
You know what? We can find him.
I have.
Oh, his new home?
He's still on the Nextdoor. He's still posting
Of course.
about his new neighborhood.
I'm like, we can find him. Like, we can do it. It's like, no, it's probably so easy. Like, you
crime on the new neighborhood.
Of
Still
course.
reporting crime to this day.
Wow.
2025.
Wow. So much crime in that area.
Bothering those people now.
At least it's not us.
True.
Yeah,
Ugh.
thank God. But yeah, don't be a fucking stalker or a creep. It's ugly.
Don't be a Frollo.
Don't
It
be a
is
Frollo.
so easy to just, like, shut the fuck up also.
You know what it really is? Not us, though.
No.
No.
For people who should, which is
Yeah.
not us.
Not us.
Never asked.
OC recap, ladies?
Let's go.
Let's
Oh,
do it.
boy. All right. This is episode 19. It's called The Heartbreak. Marissa tries to mend her relationship with Ryan, but he can't forgive her for the situation with Oliver. Things become even more complicated when Ryan runs into an ex-girlfriend from Chino who is catering for Kirsten's Valentine's Day dance. Meanwhile, Seth admits his feelings to Summer, and they take their relationship to a new level. Jimmy finds out about his secret admirer.
Jimmy
Cooper.
from Paris.
Paris.
It's like, Marissa, I am back.
Oh God.
I have a new Chanel bag for you.
No, voulez-vous accoucher avec moi ce soir? I want to eat myself off a bridge for saying such thing. Lady Anna is French.
Lady Alice and Jimmy.
What did we
Cooper.
literally just talk about?
Oui.
We.
Okay. No more. Lady Anna, shut up tonight.
All right, fine. Yeah, the ghosts stay in the basement.
So, as discussed last week, the first commentary of the episode is that Ryan is back at Harbor and Dr. Kim has lifted the suspension. Which, of course, like,
Yeah,
nothing
back to
else is
school.
talked about. Like, just back to school.
Oopsie, we were wrong.
No therapy for Ryan
No,
either.
none. And this episode, it's Valentine's Day.
Yes.
So something that I was trying to figure out, one, I was very surprised by Sandy not liking Valentine's Day. I just feel like that's not his vibe.
I disliked him in the beginning of this episode because he was shitting
That
on
also just
Kirsten.
doesn't seem like him.
No, because she loves Valentine's Day, which does not seem like her. It went rat.
Yeah, it was off. And anyway, well, go on.
There was a very funny moment, and he's like, "You never do anything I want to do either." And she's like what? And he goes, "Like surfing." And she goes, "With the fish?" And I just thought it was so, like, she did it so well. It was just very, very funny. And they get in this big fight about Valentine's Day.
Yeah, because she's throwing a Valentine's Day bash.
Right, yeah. And she loves Valentine's Day. She's really into it. And at some point they get into like this kind of bickery fight. And he's like, "Wait, what are we fighting about?" And she goes, "I'm not sure, but it's serious."
serious.
And I was like, you know what? Yep. Been there.
Yep.
Been there. But something that I was left confused about at this point is the timeline in terms of like after it. So they're like, "Oh yeah, Oliver, like he's in the hospital," but it felt very fresh to me still. And I couldn't really get a sense of like, was it a week ago? Was it yesterday?
Well, no, because like remember, New Year's Eve was at Oliver's place.
The new semester, he was at the school.
Right, so like they're back after New Year's.
A couple
so
weeks.
I think the Oliver thing happened like mid to late January. So yeah,
Okay. Yeah, because they're all still like, it's all kind of still on everybody's mind.
right.
So it feels very fresh.
This is the one instance where the OC's timeline makes some sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the other thing that really happens is Jimmy gets a plate of
Jimmy.
cookies. Jimmy.
Jimmy
bad.
dessert.
You would be good at the French accent.
I'm not.
That was good.
Pain au chocolat for Mr. Cooper. Jimmy.
Jimmy. So he gets cookies left at his door by his secret admirer, and he immediately is like, "Aw, thanks, Marissa." And she's like, "It wasn't me."
Oh.
And then he immediately brings him to Kirsten.
Yes, but one
Freak.
of the
Ew.
comments he says, he goes, "Who would leave something nice?" And I was like, "Yeah, Jimmy, who would leave something nice
Honestly,
in your life?"
Great question.
A fool.
No one likes you.
Yeah,
that
an
is
idiot.
clear.
Think of the dumbest person you've met recently. They're the
And you'd be
most
right.
chaotic person you've met recently.
Like him and these fucking cookies. I cannot believe he took them to Kirsten.
I can. Happy Valentine's Day. He's a freak. He probably knows that Sandy doesn't like Valentine's Day. And he's like, now's my chance.
Yeah.
I don't have to cook.
And he also finds out that like Haley makes that type of cookie. So
He's
now
a secret admirer.
Haley makes that type of cookie. It's like a peanut butter with a chocolate kiss in it. Like these are Haley's special. It's like
Anybody
chocolate
can
chip
make
cookies.
these.
You know what I mean? It's like
Every family makes them at Christmas.
like everybody. Yeah, just like a generic cookie.
it's the sugar cookies with the Hershey's Kisses in them, right?
Right, but like anybody can make those. It's like saying like, oh, she always made snickerdoodles or chocolate
Right,
chip
yeah.
cookies. Like so cookies.
So then there's some Summer and Seth action, which I think you should take away because I know you had some feelings about it.
No. I have read enough about teens touching via the letters, so I think you can talk about that, and I'll chime in.
No is something Ryan says to Marissa when she comes over to bang immediately after the Oliver situation.
And she's like, don't you want to? And he's like, no.
He's like, well, I want to, but like not. You know what? I respect Ryan for this action.
Yeah.
He's not digmatized by Marissa.
No, he's not. He's being rational.
He's being rational.
I mean, he's acting how he should based on how he feels about her emotionally and not physically.
The other thing that makes it weird to me is this is based on the advice that she got from her dad. Because she was like,
oh yeah, it didn't work.
Yeah, he was like, oh, maybe a big romantic gesture. And I was like, Marissa, this is not a big romantic gesture, girl. Like,
He needs time to process that, like, you were almost murdered by a psycho that, like, nobody believed him was a psycho.
Right.
Like, it needs a minute.
It's traumatic.
And he was the hostage negotiator.
Yeah, literally. Like, her life was in his hands, and so was everyone's life in that room.
Yes, exactly.
This is such a traumatic situation that they just lived through. And Jimmy Cooper being, like you said, instead of being like, he might need some time. This was a really serious thing. Or like, maybe you should like really sit down
jump
and
his bones.
talk to him. He's like, go over there and like ride him, cowgirl. Like, I'm sorry. Like, he's giving crazy advice.
He is giving crazy advice.
Idiots.
And it's funny because we see Sandy also give his child advice on a sort of similar topic. So turns out Seth is immediately back to talk to Summer. Summer immediately rejects him, but there is this very sweet moment. And I believe him when he says this. He says to her, "You're like, it was always you. It was always you."
Oh yeah, that was real.
And so she tells him that he's going to get lucky, and they are intimate.
Hello, sunshine.
Yeah. Which I really like that song. I'm not going to lie. And so they have sex. It's very funny to watch like the scene afterwards because it clearly was what teen sex is.
I wouldn't know.
You were still technically a teen, weren't you?
Yeah, but like I was in college.
Yeah, but teen sex is teen sex.
If there's a teen
It's
on the end
different.
of the
I feel
number,
like-
you were teen.
No, it wasn't like awkwardly flopping around in someone's like princess bedroom.
True.
Oh, yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
There was no hello, sunshine.
Or plastic horse watching.
No, it was
Yeah,
Kesha, and we
there
were
were
wearing
no-
animal prints.
There were no My Little Ponies in the room. Let me be abundantly clear.
But I have to give the OC credit. It is kind of, I think it's very realistic that it wasn't this like amazing like moment.
Yeah.
They do a good job.
More realistic than like other. I mean, I can only imagine. You can tell us all about it, you creep.
So it doesn't go well, and Seth is like, he decides he's going to go to his dad for advice.
There wasn't really the internet. I don't think he had a better... he could have gone to Ryan, though. Come on. The
Yeah,
Romeo.
They make it clear that Ryan has like
been around.
Yeah.
been around. Yeah. Again, another thing that was like weirdly concerning for someone who's like mom left him and he like doesn't know how many partners he's had. Like,
Right, yeah.
get this kid to a doctor and a therapist.
Yeah, but he goes to Sandy.
But instead,
And Sandy gives him
Poor Sandy.
good advice.
he does.
And Seth is a weenie about it the whole time.
He really is. But one of my, again, Daddy Sandy,
Yeah.
he has a line in here and he's talking about like foreplay. And he goes, "Son, the appetizer is just as good as the main course."
Yeah, he was being crazy. I loved
Yeah,
it.
you know when you're at dinner with Daddy Sandy, that's true.
That man knows how to cook.
Yeah, he does. And he's not afraid to spend some time in that kitchen.
And Seth was like,
Peter Gallagher, if you're listening,
You're welcome in any of our kitchens.
that's right.
I just wrote Seth and Summer banged. Bad.
Yeah.
Summer is a virgin, a question mark.
Oh, yeah.
Which she reveals. Crazy. And she'd been lying to everyone.
The 2000s like Madonna horror complex of this is so rough. But I will say, and it's still so well done, when he's puts on the song and he like puts out his hand, he's like, "Come on, I'm sweeping you off your feet." And she's like, "Yeah, you kind of are." Like, well done.
And the song that
It was really
the song
sweet.
that plays,
Was it Wonderwall? But like a remix.
It was really good. And it was, again,
It
just a
was.
very genuine moment. And I think
Wait, we didn't say what we were talking about.
when she tells...
She comes over and is like, "I was a virgin."
Yeah.
And he's like, "What?"
Oh.
But I love what he says when he's like, "We really rushed through this big
Yeah.
moment." And it was just a really sweet...
It was very well done. Yeah,
It was
he
very
said,
well
like,
done.
"Let's take it slow," and he like puts on the music. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
nice.
It was really nice. So they go to the Valentine's Day dance. Luke is this entire episode trying to,
Something clicks in his head and he cannot stop
he
looking
is
at Julie.
obsessed with Julie.
Being a freak.
And he goes to her house on Valentine's Day because after the dance, no one's in a happy mood at the dance, by the way.
No.
Marissa's crying because Teresa's there working, right? We reveal.
Yes, Teresa from the Thanksgiving
Chino.
episode.
Teresa from Chino.
Childhood girlfriend has come to Newport to work.
Also, yeah, you pointed out the discrepancy. So she's working to help her mom who lost her job. So, like, she said she's taking a semester off. So she dropped out of school or is not there that semester to help her mom make money. And the best way for her to save the money she's making is to stay in Newport.
Yes.
And spend $80 a night at a motel where she's staying.
Also,
Correct.
Brianna looked it up. It's a half hour away.
Yeah, we had a big fight about this on the podcast.
We also cut
Oh,
that.
yeah. No, I mean...
She knows 30 minutes away. Well, why are you staying at a hotel?
And I can understand if, like, okay, one night she worked super, super late and didn't
Fair.
want to drive home after an event. Like, that's totally reasonable.
She's a caterer, by
She's
the way.
living there.
She's working at a... Yeah.
But she's like, and she's up early in the mornings, like working too. So it's not like her catering job super late at night is the only thing she's doing. This felt like a one-off thing.
Yeah, again, it was just a reason for her to be close to
To
Ryan.
be near Ryan, of course. But like staying in this super wealthy town when you live a half hour away every single night doesn't make
Nuts.
sense.
We find out in the next episode why, but
Yes.
we'll get there.
Oh, that's right.
But
You're
it's still
right.
stupid.
It is still stupid. Aren't you supposed to be helping your mom?
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So, to backtrack, Luke is obsessed with Julie.
Ugh.
He comes over after the Valentine's Day dance to, like, try to convince her, like, hey, like, you're beautiful, you're wonderful. He talks about her being the coolest mom.
Ew.
This was the worst thing I've ever heard
I have a theory.
in my life.
And then he says to her, he goes, we used to play Ultimatum, which I'm guessing is like fuck, marry, kill, right?
Some
Yeah.
version of that.
He's like, you always won. And she goes, I beat Kirsten?
Okay.
Two things.
No.
One, ew. Two, Julie.
No, can I tell you my theory?
Please.
Also, she says to Kirsten, she's like, I'm gonna go home and like drink
Listen
a
to
bottle of
Bob
wine in the
Seger.
bathtub and listen to Bob Seger or slit my wrists. And Kirsten's like, ooh, please have a bottle of wine. Here's what I think based on that remark and the following chain of events. I think Julie is having a full-on psychotic break.
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
It's the only thing that makes any sense. She's lost everything.
She's open about it.
She's drinking. She's going through it. She had a traumatic childhood. And I think she just like breaks. I think she just snaps. And it makes sense because like one, like it makes sense to why all of a sudden she's a pervert. And two, it makes sense because, and I'm going to jump ahead a little, but in the next episode, early in the next episodes, this isn't really giving anything away. She and Jimmy were walking in the hallway together and she goes, you know, I never thanked you. And he's like, well, yeah, you thanked me for like ruining our lives and like isolating ourselves in the community and like losing all your money. And it's like, okay, yeah, as she should, like you loser. But she's like, no, for doing such a great job with Marissa. Like that is objectively untrue. Like this woman is going through something intense and serious
she
because
is.
only someone going through experiencing a psychotic break would be doing these things who otherwise was just like kind of mean, but like pretty normal.
Right, and pretty
Yeah.
right,
And
yeah.
correct. Yeah. Like Jimmy was a bad parent. He put her kid in danger.
Well, and as we know, not 10 episodes ago, she was going to institutionalize Marissa.
Right.
And then the last couple episodes, she was like not even bothering to pick up Marissa from the hotel post breakup with Caleb.
She's kind of giving up.
Literally.
She's giving up. Yeah.
So I think she's having, excuse me. Wow.
Don't
a
cut
psychotic break. That's my theory.
It is a lot. And the episode just ends with Marissa coming back, assuming that Teresa's there.
She's like, where is she?
Yeah, she has this big freak out moment with her stupid hip
Oh, that
bones.
dress. That stupid dress. That color is not. She's a pale girl like me. We can't wear that shade of pink.
Salmon.
It's not good.
Flesh pink.
Flesh pink. Yeah.
Yeah.
Blush.
And she again tries to apologize, but she's really not apologizing. Like she's really not.
No,
doing
she's
a
just
good
like,
job.
why can't we go back to how it was?
Yeah, let's go back to normal. Let's go back to normal.
She says it many times.
Yeah, and so Ryan's like, no. And the comment I made at the end of this episode was, dump her, hottie, to Ryan.
Dump her, hottie.
Like
Yeah.
Ryan, yep, dump her.
Period.
Always good
He's
advice.
had enough.
Indeed.
It goes both ways.
Go to therapy.
Yeah. Anybody else have any notes?
Well, the episode ends with Sandy setting up a beautiful
that's right.
Valentine. After shitting on Valentine's Day all day, he sets up this lovely Valentine situation in their
Amazing.
bedroom when Kirsten comes home from planning the party.
And then
There's
they eat
chocolate,
Oh, that box of chocolates was amazing.
rose petals, all the things. And Sandy was just, he was just giving her shit, but he's like, I'll do what she wants.
because
he's Zaddy Sandy.
He's a real man.
Zaddy Sandy, yeah.
Oh,
And that's where we end. The next one is a adult heavy episode.
Very much so. Yeah. Episode 20, it's called the Telenovela. Marissa and Ryan try to make a new start as friends, but it's not as easy as they had hoped. As Teresa, Ryan's ex-girlfriend from Chino, begins spending more time in Newport. Ryan discovers that she hasn't been completely honest about why she's there. Meanwhile, Seth believes his relationship with Summer is great, but when she refuses to acknowledge him at school, he feels he has to teach her a lesson.
That's weird to say.
I don't feel like that's what was
Teach her
happening.
less, like, not really.
Yeah,
I mean,
more like stick up for himself.
Well, my first comment on this episode was, in all caps, Anna, no!
loser.
Anna's back.
Loser. Wearing the stupidest clothes. And I say that as someone who wore stupid clothes in the 2000s.
Absolutely.
But wow, she's a whole other level.
Just there pretending not to care that they're together and like kind of giving him advice at one point to stick up for
Yeah.
himself because Summer like is embarrassed that they're dating and won't tell anyone.
Well, that's the assumption.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
She has all these insecurities.
So you made a comment earlier about how Julie was saying to Jimé,
Jamais Coupé.
Jimé Coupé, what a good job he did. But one thing that was really funny is he's like, oh, like I'm kind of afraid of Dr. Kim.
He goes,
As
"Oh, I'm glad you're
you
here.
should."
I was afraid to go in there alone."
He's like, she's gonna give me the worst parenting award. It's like, yeah, Jimmy.
Yeah, exactly.
Finally, some self-awareness.
Fine. And finally, like, getting what he deserves.
Yeah.
Dr. Kim should be yelling at you. Like, good. Again, like, I know she's fucked up, but, like, Dr. Kim has Marissa's best interests at heart.
Yeah, honorable mention, Jimé walks up when Julie is talking to Luke in the hallway, and this is after they've hooked up at this point. He's like, "Oh, hello," and he like tries to touch her, and she's like,
"You
"You
look
can't
good."
do that." She's like, "You cannot touch me here, you idiot."
Right.
But he's a teen, so.
Ugh.
Well, he's 18
Yeah,
to be
he's
exact.
18, according to, because they must have been getting some like, yo, hey, like, I know it's only 2003 and we don't really care about this type of stuff, but like, this is extra yucky. And then she's like, oh yeah, because you're 18.
That's where it doesn't track because part
They're
of this
sophomores?
episode they're banging in the mermaid motel.
Right next to Teresa.
Teresa's
Next
mermaid
door
motel.
to Teresa's room, and he's talking about like his school project or something. She's like, "Oh yeah, you're in school. You're 18." Blah blah. And I'm like, wait, are they supposed to be sophomores?
Yes.
Aren't they in the same grade?
I wonder about that because I feel like in maybe the first few episodes they do talk about Luke being a little older.
But 2
They
years.
said you've been together since you were like 9. They said that since
Yeah.
you were 9. Like, they're
So
supposed to
she
be in
was
the same grade.
7. That's so weird.
Yeah, again,
It's
just
like, yeah.
another
Just like-
unsettling
No
situation with the timeline here.
Yeah, that's the timeline's not timing.
It doesn't make
Right.
sense.
So they're it's really because they just don't want Julie to be like
to go to
couldn't
jail.
say
Go to jail.
16. That would have been
To go to
yucky.
jail with Jimmy. Yeah,
Right.
they need to make Julie like redeemable in some way.
Or to make this hot somehow.
Ugh, it like makes my skin crawl.
So the other thing that happens is Caleb comes for a booty call to Julie's house.
Oh yeah, and she calls him out.
And she does.
Good for her. Again, like it
Julie-
sucks about the fucking Luke plotline because
Yeah.
like she's right. Like showing up at her door at like 10:30 or whatever.
Slams it in his face. And he's like, "I guess this was a booty call."
Yeah. And Marissa, so more adult kind of Marissa things is Jimmy again is giving advice to Marissa about Ryan. But one of the things that's really odd about it is that he's like, "Oh, I thought you'd be at Ryan's," and I'm like, "Do you not know what's happening? Like,
No, you know he doesn't know what's going on in his daughter's life. Come on.
what are you doing?" And so
He has not a clue.
Marissa decides that she's gonna like fight for Ryan because she knows or believes that Teresa is like honing in on him. Now,
Which she is.
she is for sure, but something else that we find out in this episode is that Teresa is actually running away from her boyfriend, Eddie, who is a little bit older than her and
Her
who
fiance.
has proposed to her and is her fiance. We find that out not from Teresa, but because Eddie
Shows up.
to talk to Ryan.
He's like, "Have you seen her?" And he's like, "No." Liar.
Yeah. Which, you know what? I really respected Ryan for like not telling him and then
No, I
talking to
agree.
Teresa and then telling him.
I agree.
Because he didn't know if she was in danger or whatever.
That's true. Like that was the right way to handle this.
Yeah, he handled it correctly. Like,
He knew Eddie, but like you never know.
More messy stuff in Ryan's life.
God.
So he finds out she ran away, and that's the whole thing. "You lied to me."
And then she kind of gets harsh with him. And she's like, "You wouldn't get it. Like, you live in..." I'm like,
"You ran away too,"
and I was like, he didn't run away.
He absolutely
He
did
went
not.
to jail.
and was adopted against
And
his
was
will.
adopted
Yeah, and
against
was
his will.
taken by this family.
His brother's in jail. His mother abandoned him. Like, he did not run away.
No, he didn't run away. He got a break. Like,
Yeah.
he was taken.
And she shits on him for it.
And, like, be serious. Didn't Eddie and Teresa both say at one point, like, you deserve this. Like, this is good. Like, good
Yeah.
for you. But it's like, Okay, so which is it? I guess she's also supposed to be a teen, so.
She's
She's 17.
Pick
Yeah.
a lane,
And
Teresa.
he's upset with her about like getting engaged, and I'm like, yeah,
Fair.
fair, Ryan.
Yeah, he's like, you're a teen.
Yeah.
Right.
And Eddie's not a teen. Eddie's older. He has a job.
Yeah, but again, there's a lot of, again, they're trying to bring like adult storylines into the teens. I'm like, no, let them be dumb teens.
Yeah, like, get Teresa out of here. Like,
Get Teresa out of here.
It's so obvious that she's just like a distracting side plot, you know?
It's not great. And like, there's also this, Marissa goes to talk to Teresa, and they have this like really big emotional talk about how Teresa was like looking for the love of her life. And I'm like, girl, you're 17.
Yeah, calm down.
Half engaged, but
Right.
acting weird towards Marissa the whole time.
The whole time. And the other piece that I wrote a note about was Ryan does go to see Eddie, right? To tell him that he did see Teresa. And Eddie's like, you know, are you guys? And he's like, no. And he's like, well, do you love her? I'm like, what the fuck?
Clearly they're having some weird talks,
Yeah.
the two of them.
And he's like, I don't know. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now?
Yeah, like all of a sudden you're in love with somebody.
All of a sudden you're like, enough to take her away from her like fiance.
Although he is a confused teen with a lot of trauma. So like, who
I'm not
knows?
blaming Ryan.
No, it just, yeah, it happened fast.
It just, again, it feels very rushed for plot purposes, and you can sense that.
No, totally. Like we got introduced to this girl last week. There was a flash of Thanksgiving, and then she's never brought up again. And then it's like, oh, you're back, and I'm in love with you.
Now she's just kind of everywhere. Like, every time
Yeah.
Marissa's hanging out and then Teresa comes over, oh, you're early. It's just, like, annoying.
And Teresa's not like other girls because she loves video games.
Yeah.
And I do love that Ryan's family, his adopted family, does like immediately take her in though,
Yeah.
which is really sweet.
They do.
His involuntary family.
His involuntary family. Do you guys have any other notes? That was it for me.
Well, Uncle
Sean. Oh my
We
God.
can't forget Uncle Sean.
No.
So the only other adult thing is Uncle Sean, who is not Kirsten's actual uncle. This is just like someone that Father Caleb has worked with forever. And
They make it clear that he is just drunk, shady, and Irish. Like,
Yes.
that is like, we get it.
yeah, and he gets arrested. Father Caleb kind of like, poo-poos on, oh, Sandy, he was just drunk. Like, can you just make this go away, blah, blah. So Sandy digs in deeper. Well, Uncle Sean was a little shady and likes to drink and works at the permit department or office or whatever, and, works with Caleb's business. And, well, we kind of find out that he's a shady fuck and was like, in some room with, like, a business competition and was, like, maybe, like, accused of stealing, like, sensitive information and being drunk.
Yeah.
Lumber.
Well,
Yeah.
Caleb's like, he got drunk and like stumbled into a hotel room. And coincidentally, it was like our like
Biggest competitor.
And our lumber supplier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy coincidence.
Yeah, he's like, you wouldn't believe that, what a drunk rascal like
Right.
Uncle Sean is.
And basically, he's like, Sandy, can you help me? And Sandy's like, I'm not helping you. This is dumb. And then he's like, Kirsten's complicit. She signs his paychecks. You need to get this to go away now. And he gets real. And Sandy's like, fuck.
I will say, watching Sandy give Caleb some shit in that restaurant, I was like, ooh, tell him. Yeah.
He was like, you can't build your business on quicksand and expect it not to fall. Or something. Like, he had so many liners.
That's a confident man.
He never squanders or squirms at Father Caleb.
No,
No.
this is Sandy Cohen is an example of positive masculinity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's like, it's not like the stuff or the money, and he doesn't like talk down to people. Like, he is confident in like who he is and like what he like brings the world, and like treats people with respect and kindness. And he is a man.
Yeah,
he like
is.
won't be intimidated by like Caleb's money.
No, and he's fucking hot.
Yeah, he is. Sandy Cohen.
Sandy Cohen, you have our hearts.
Yeah, you sure do.
Yeah, and that's really it for the adults. The teens is kind of light and kind of stupid.
Seth and
Oh,
Summer
yeah.
kiss at school, and the whole thing gets resolved, and young me loved it. They're at a kissing booth, which, like, those things were not allowed in the 2000s. I don't care what's happening. Like, there's
But
no
they were
way.
in all movies, though.
Every movie had a kissing booth. I'm like,
Yeah.
what in the fuck is happening at high schools?
And
like,
they never had them ever, like, in real life.
no,
No.
that's crazy. And
It's
like,
wild.
a health hazard. Blech.
Well, and she was all embarrassed about, like, dating Seth Cohen because he's, like, kind of a loser. And she tries to play it off like, I don't like PDA, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, you're selling yourself for $5 a pop at the kissing booth. And I'm like, oh, my God, shut up.
Every part of this was gross. But then
Yeah.
he stands up on the kissing booth cart.
No, you missed a piece.
Oh.
So Anna decides to.
I was just gonna blow past that, but yeah, go
but
ahead.
she injects herself into the situation, and Summer reveals that it's actually not that she's embarrassed of dating Seth. It's that she doesn't think that Seth is gonna like actually enjoy being with her, and she like can't stand the idea of him like breaking up with her.
When he broke up with Anna, and she's like, okay. Like, well, he broke up with me. He's like, shoot, that's so embarrassing.
She's like, I would feel like the biggest fucking loser in the whole world. Can
being
you
broken
even
up with by
imagine?
Seth Cohen. Ugh.
And people at school know about it.
And it's just like, yeah. Yeah.
There she is. It's like you're possessed.
Yeah.
Well,
No.
she is a spirit and not real.
True, it could happen to anyone.
We gotta make a reel with you with stupid Anna hair. Dude, it'll be so easy to put together an outfit. Just pick everything in your closet that doesn't match.
I'll find
and
a
put
vest.
it all on at the same time.
Shit ton of blush and a vest
pound
and a
of
fedora
blush.
hat. I've got it.
A pound of blush, blue eyeshadow, boom.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
I'll
guys,
do it.
It's Halloween. That's who you have to be. You have to be Anna.
We have to be Anna for Halloween.
I'm Father Caleb, as discussed.
No.
Who am I?
Marissa.
Marissa. What weird gaggle of people.
Nightmare blunt rotation.
Oh God.
It's really it for this episode, honestly.
Yeah.
Seth pulling her up on that kissing cart. He's like, acknowledge me now. And she like gets up on the cart and they kiss to Patrick Parks' Something Pretty, which I loved that song as a youth. It's still a good song.
Great song.
And if you're listening to our podcast on Spotify, we can tag the songs that we talk about from the OC.
We should put
we
together,
will.
let's put together a playlist. The OC playlist exists. I want a playlist that's
The good
part
songs.
OC, yeah, the good songs from the OC and your dead hamster funeral. Because I know there's some 2000s bangers on that one.
A lot of Shania Twain.
Avril Lavigne.
Avril Lavigne and Yellow Card.
Speaking of virginity songs,
Right.
yeah, weird Avril Lavigne virginity songs. And Yellow Card.
I don't think I've told that story.
Oh, no, we did.
Oh, we did.
We talked
oh,
about it.
Yeah, okay.
Because
okay.
it was Damn Cold. No, not Damn Cold Night, the other one. We fumbled with the title then, too.
Don't tell me. It will be a great playlist.
Yeah.
Get ready to enjoy some time in your feelings.
If you have a dead hamster, this will help.
She said, I haven't been to therapy in years, but boy, do I have a playlist that'll heal you.
Music healed me. I know I burnt a CD. I will find it.
Oh my God, my jaw's popping.
I'm gonna cry.
Oh,
Like, tearing
so
up.
we'll recap some future episodes next week. But for now, Feral Trash Night, ladies. We did Blaze demanded an early Feral Trash Night.
I was hungry. I wanted some McDonald's.
So we got McDonald's before Feral Trash Night. Our bodies did some things. Everything is fine now.
I made banana bread, healthy banana bread.
I want a bite of that.
We've got a whole tin.
I think we should watch our gals, Tammy and what's her name?
Yes. 1,000 Pound Sisters, Tammy and Amy.
Amy!
Hell yeah. Oh my gosh, there are new episodes.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm totally down for 1,000 Pound Sisters.
Saw online that Tammy had skin removal.
She had her skin removal.
I cannot wait. That has to be amazing. for
Well,
her.
and she's like in the hundreds, I think.
Yeah. Because she's literally like
Wow.
5 feet tall.
Oh, she's that short?
Yeah.
She's
she's tiny.
really short.
She's tiny.
That's
Why
why
did I
she
know
always
that?
looks so insane.
It's insane that she got that weight just because of how small she is.
That is wild.
Yeah, so this has to be like life changing. She got like
5
full
feet
body,
tall?
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
I'm half a foot taller than her. That blew my mind. I pictured her so tall.
No.
I picture the whole family is really tall. I don't know why.
Only Amanda.
Oh, yeah.
Our girl.
Ugh,
The best
Queen
one.
Amanda. Yeah.
Queen Amanda.
Amanda, if you're listening, you're our favorite.
We are honestly, we like might be her biggest fans. Like,
I
I'm
think
not
so.
even, like being funny or facetious. Like, she is the voice of reason. Like, I want her on my side in a fight.
I would trust her with
Absolutely.
my life.
Me too, absolutely. She would never let anyone fuck with me.
No. You know what I want? Sandy or
Sandy and Mandy.
Sandy. Yeah.
That is a legal team that'll fight for you, literally.
Oh, yeah. Amanda will punch, and Sandy will get you out of jail for punching.
Absolutely.
That's the team I want.
Sandy and Mandy LLC.
So we're gonna snack on banana bread We're going to watch Tammy lose more weight.
Watch our girl get life-changing surgery.
That's right.
Hell
but
yeah.
Still be kind of awful.
She's still a fucking bitch, but I'm happy for her.
Right, like
we cannot. She is a bitch.
Yeah, she really is.
she is awful. And you know what?
And I don't think she's gotten tangibly better.
No, she lost the weight, but none of the foulness of her personality.
Right.
I'm happy for her physically, mentally, and she needs some work.
Oh my gosh, speaking of people who need intense therapy.
They came over on the Mayflower. It's about time.
That is the craziest thing ever.
The craziest lore that was ever dropped.
Wasn't their ancestor a captain?
Yeah, captain of the ship, or one of the captains,
One of the
or a
ships.
captain of a different ship. He was on the ship. I don't know if he was the captain of the Mayflower.
I don't know if
But he was. They said he was a ship captain. I'm
I don't
pretty
know if
sure, or like a navigator. He was a charter.
He was something
charter.
that was important and critical, mission critical.
Yeah, no, he was a pilot. That's what they called him, a pilot, a ship pilot.
That's right.
Remember, because they were like, "Oh, pilot, like that's kind of funny." I was like, "Oh yeah, that is kind of weird." Like,
you couldn't have bashed me over the head with a shovel, and I would have been more surprised than finding that out.
no, 100%. But it makes sense why their genes are so strong. They've been here for a long time.
She got COVID with a trach, and she lived.
Surviving Kentucky hollers for years and years and years. Anyway, strong genes.
Yeah, that's our show.
You got it.
Well, I haven't fucked this up in a while. What do I say? Lady
can
Anna,
find
what do I
us.
say?
Wait, do it in Anna's voice. Do it.
Yeah, do it.
Do it.
You must.
Okay.
Channel her.
You can find us at Something Feral FTN on Instagram, Something Feral Pod at Gmail, on TikTok. We're also on Spotify. We got these new cameras. They're really good. And we're on YouTube. It's really artsy there. We look really good. Off to get feral. See you next week. I'm gonna kill myself.